not go to sleep unless you've spent 60 minutes in learning. You know, I mean, a lot of people say, well, I don't have that time. Join what I call traffic university. You know, I mean, in other words, if you're in the car driving to work, why listen to the news? The job of the news, Vishen, is to frighten you. The job of the news is to release cortisol, the fear hormone in your brain, so you become addicted to the news. Here's what the research says. The research says actually people who watch the news every day see the world less realistically than people who don't watch the news. You actually...
Is that so?
Yeah, because you actually train your brain to think that life is about wars, robbery, the worst of humanity, and the lowest common denominator, versus knowing the reality. There are a lot, most people are great. We've never lived in a time of so much opportunity. So the 60-minute student is simply this. You make a commitment to be an eternal learner. Okay? And you make some time every day to listen to a podcast or go through an online course or, you know, watch a webinar like your viewers are brilliantly doing. I mean, victims don't like learning new ideas, Vishen. It disrupts their safe harbor. What makes a victim is they don't want to hear a new idea. It's actually fear. They want to think the same thoughts, speak the same words, live the same life for 80 years and call it a lifetime. But the people who are watching right now are my heroes, because it takes a lot of bravery to say, I'm going to learn for 60 minutes every day, and I'm going to feel the discomfort of growth. But my commitment to growth and becoming the best human being I could be is so much more important than the fear or the discomfort that I feel. And that's what makes a hero, actually.
That's beautifully said. You know, one of the biggest things I did in my life that really moved the dial, I spend about an hour every day in traffic, right? Half an hour to get to work, half an hour to come back. And recently I moved to an apartment that was even further away from my office. And for the first few months, I was feeling so miserable because I used to have a 7-minute drive. Mm-hmm. Now I had a half-hour drive, but then I stumbled upon this idea. Turn it into the University of Traffic, or Traffic University, as you said. And I started listening to podcasts. I started listening to our own Mindvalley courses. And I'm so glad now that I live further away from my office, because I get to spend an hour every single day growing myself. And I really want to encourage you guys to look into this. This is so powerful, folks. And again, it's within reach of any one of us.
Traffic University. You know, you're in a car, that's an opportunity to learn. Have you heard about running college? Running college. Definitely, I want your viewers to join running college. Running college is you go running, listen to an audiobook, listen to a course. Have you heard about School of Walking?
I have heard about it.
When you are walking, why daydream? When you're walking, listen to a course. Like everywhere you go grocery shopping, why not reverse your thinking by listening to a course while you're grocery shopping? Anything that you're doing, you can be learning.
You're right. I still have my hardcore rap playlist when I'm working out or running.
Right.
But in the car, in traffic, when everything is just gentle and smooth and quiet and I can focus, that's when I love listening to courses and podcasts.
Yeah, like
phenomenal tip.
Well, I think the key is really this: learning collapses the timeline. You can try to figure out how to build a great business or a world-class life, or dial in the mindset of the people I work with, the titans, or how to live a life that makes history while you create a life you adore. You can try to figure it out on your own, and it'll probably take you 50 years or 100 years, even if you ever get there. Or you can learn from people who've already done it and get the information in an hour or 20 minutes, or the right book or the right course or the right audiobook. You can collapse the timeline so that every single day becomes a platform to get exponentially closer to the life you've always wanted to live.
What you're saying is so relevant to our community. This is the core and the DNA of the Mindvalley community. For those of you who are new to Mindvalley, know this: most people who are part of our community, which is now like 2 million strong, they see growth as a goal. Most regular people, ordinary people, they think of their goals as the amount of money in their bank account, or their title, or their job, or how high up the career ladder. Not Mindvalley people. If you're here, you probably get what I'm talking about. They see growth as a goal. So every single day, if they are growing, they know that they have a right to celebrate, that they are getting closer to who they are meant to be. Their battle is often with their own levels of internal greatness. They constantly want to express the greatest version of themselves. So if this resonates with you, growth as a goal, you're in the right place. And I'm so glad that we have you, Robin, here to remind us of just how powerful and crucial this idea is to our lifestyle.
Well, let's strip away all the seductions of society. And if you don't mind, I want to get a little philosophical, but I want to speak some deep truth here. And I believe the number one purpose of life, it's not having the Ferrari or the watch or the title or the big house or people thinking you're beautiful or cool or whatever. I think at the end of our lives, when we get to the last hour of our last day, it will just come down to one thing. Who did we become? I mean, did we make the investments required to awaken the hero that lives within every single one of the people that's watching? Did we learn how to turn pain into power? Did we learn how to take our fears and make them into faith? Did we use the potential that we were born into to live it? Not so we just did great things for our loved ones and for our lifestyle, but made the world a better place. The number one purpose of life, when you strip away the hypnosis of our culture and the media, the number one purpose of life, it's to grow. It's to become who we are destined and built to be for the benefit of our joy, but also to make the world a place of more love, more light, more heroism, more creativity, more productivity. That is the responsibility, not just the opportunity, that's the responsibility of every single person who's watching right now. To turn down the ego pursuits and to get seriously in the game and say, life is short. I better do something right now to start owning my genius, to start stripping away my fears. And just because the world doesn't live, the world is interested in, what people are eating for breakfast and dancing cats on the social media. And I think your people are a lot like me and you, There's a whole different game to play. And it's not what the 95% are doing. The game or the key to life, it's growth. It's building your interior. It's going out in the world and becoming your genius and doing something epic with your life. And you know what? Don't do it tomorrow. Don't postpone it because no one knows what tomorrow is going to bring. Do it today.
I love that, man, because even though I intuitively know this stuff, it so helps to have you as a coach reminding me how important this is. This is beautiful.